Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick.
I'm Ian.
Today we're talking about great cover songs that we actually think might be better than the originals. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlists we put together every week, and the Patreon page. So make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us a little thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So there's an absolute ton of great cover songs that have been released over the last, 40, 50 years, 60 years really. But, and a lot of them are actually songs that people don't even know are cover songs.
Right.
All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
It was about Dylan's song.
It was about Dylan's song. How many people out there actually know that? So that's a great, I think it's a great example of a song where I actually like that the cover version more than I like the original. And that's kind of, when you look at it, I wonder if it has something to do with what version you heard first.
Right. That's possible. With a little help from my friends, I'd only ever heard the Joe Cocker version. And then when I heard the Beatles version, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I love the Joe Cocker version.
Me too. And don't get me wrong, I love the Beatles version too, but it's like the Joe Cocker version was always, that was what stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Because the Wonder Years really is probably where the first time I heard it, or
Probably.
on the radio. But it was a couple of years later before I heard the Beatles version.
Yeah.
So.
What's another one? How about the Nirvana's cover of Man Who Sold the World? I heard that before I heard the Bowie version. I like the Bowie version. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the Nirvana version better, though. And then there's some bands that are just great at doing cover songs. I think pretty much everyone can agree that Guns N' Roses does a great job with covers. Mm-hmm. What was the one that I forgot about? Well,
one of the ones I picked was "Sympathy for the Devil,"
which I absolutely love that version of it.
I still like the Rolling Stones version, but Guns N' Roses kind of does it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think.
I think "Sympathy for the Devil" is one of those songs where it's definitely one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs. And it's also one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite Rolling Stones song, but it's up there.
It's definitely up there for me. It's probably it's definitely one of my top 2 or 3 favorite Rolling Stones albums.
Yeah, and it is hard to say that Guns N' Roses did it better because it's like we're talking like a hair.
Yeah.
Because the Rolling Stones version is fantastic, but I've just always kind of gravitated to liking the Guns N' Roses version a little bit better.
Yeah. Their version of Knocking on Heaven's Door is a fantastic song. Obviously, I grew up on the Bob Dylan version. But I kind of like, even though Axl has like this like rapping verse towards the end of the song, which isn't the greatest, but the song overall, their version of it is just absolutely fantastic. What's the other?
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die by Guns N' Roses. I grew up on the original version.
Me too.
I still prefer that Guns N' Roses version.
Yeah, I think Guns N' Roses version just because it has a rock element to it. It's almost a hard rock song.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just because Paul McCartney doesn't write hard rock, or if it was because it was being used for a James Bond movie. But the Guns N' Roses version fits its essentials better, I think.
Yeah.
Another one that I'd heard the song many, many times on the radio growing up. But I never knew who it was by, and I can't think of any songs by this band that I'm familiar with. Pure Prairie League is the name of the band.
Nice name.
Yeah, but the song is Amy, and it was a huge hit. So like I said, classic rock radio would play it all the time.
Yeah.
Counting Crows version is infinitely better though.
And that was on somewhere under.
No, it was on Underwater Sunshine.
Underwater Sunshine,
which was a cover album.
That's right. I knew it was one of those albums.
And I would say that I'm not the only one who thinks so because I've heard it played in Myers, just over their loudspeaker.
Yeah.
The Counting Crows version over the
intercom system. Yeah.
Yeah, Pure Prairie League version is I don't remember it being a hit.
A radio. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the Counting Crows version.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Well,
heard
2014,
it on the radio.
no one was listening to the radio anyway. But
that's true.
I don't remember that album. It was a cover album. It didn't get a lot of hype.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fascinating tidbit to think about. But I love the song anyway. But Counting Crows version is just way better.
Yeah. I think another song that is like infinitely better than the original, even though I do like the original, is "Hurt" by Johnny Cash. It's an incredible song. I would put it in my top 10 Johnny Cash songs overall. And the song is so great. Even Trent Reznor said that, I remember him doing an interview after American 4 came out, and that song got really popular again, that, after listening to Johnny Cash's version, it was no longer Trent Reznor's song. It was Johnny Cash's song.
Yeah.
That's how good that cover is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It hits you everywhere it needs to hit you. And I don't even know what Trent Reznor's original vision for that song or what his meaning behind it was. But again, Johnny Cash
he absolutely made it his own.
Absolutely. Another one that sticks out for me, and this is not one that I'm sure you're familiar with. And again, it's not a band I'm not familiar with. I mean, I'm familiar with them, but not their catalog.
Yeah.
The song was originally by the Stranglers, and it's "Strange Little Girl." Tori Amos did a fantastic cover of that song.
What album was that on?
On "Strange Little Girl."
Okay.
It was a cover album
Okay.
that she did. To be fair, I only listened to the original version once after this album came out, after Tori released her cover album. I was like, I'll just listen to the Tori version because it's a fantastic version. And it's even, for her, it's a slightly different style because she's got a full band with her. I mean, she did it on the whole album, but it's her, but it's different.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why I like it so much.
That makes sense. I guess I've got a few left on my list. House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. It's hands down my favorite song by the Animals.
Right.
It's an incredible cover. I don't remember who.
The Zombies did it.
Yeah, there was a couple
other artists.
A few covers before the Animals did it, but that's a great one. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Of course, that was a Dolly Parton song.
That's probably the only one I'm partial to Dolly's version, but I mean, obviously Whitney did a fantastic job.
Yeah, she did. Whitney Houston could sing the phone book and probably sell 1 million copies of it.
Probably,
I think she's one of the greatest female singers
Vocals,
ever. Also, I think one that gets really overlooked, Alicia Keys on her Unplugged album had Adam Levine from Maroon 5 come out, and they did a version of Wild Horses, which was unbelievable. And I love the Rolling Stones version. The version that they did on the Unplugged performance was absolutely fantastic. I think it's a better version than what the Rolling Stones did.
Didn't the Wallflowers do a version of that too?
Did they?
I think so.
They might have. I'm not sure. But and then the other one I had on my list was Under My Thumb by Social Distortion, another Rolling Stones cover. But in another instance where I love both versions of that song. But what Social Distortion did, I think Mike Ness's vocals really fit that song better than what Mick Jagger did. But just some great covers. And I think there's a lot of cover songs that are, I guess, kind of equal when it comes to the original. Walk This Way, Aerosmith, of course, Run DMC.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a collaboration with Aerosmith. Is one of those tracks where I love both versions of it. And
there's also live covers too that may not necessarily have been on an album or might have been part of like a televised thing.
Yeah.
Heart did a cover of Stairway to Heaven at one of those presidential awards. I can't remember what it was, but
that was really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's better than the original, but
honestly,
it's good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say it's better, but it had. You could almost see tears in Jimmy Page's eyes while they were doing it. That's a perfect.
There is another cover that I would say is almost blasphemy to even say it's even close to the original. And maybe it's because I am a big fan of Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell has done a bunch of great covers. But
oh yeah, I know which one you're going.
Which one am I going for? Billie Jean is an incredible cover.
I was thinking about that Prince song that he did.
What Prince song?
I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but okay.
But he did his cover of Billie Jean is unbelievable. Is it better than the version that's on Thriller? No. But it is one. He really did a great service, I think, to that song.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Chris Cornell's another one of those vocalists that's just, could probably sing the phone book and be fine with.
Yeah, nothing compares to you is the one you're trying to think of, which it is. That is a great version of that song. I actually love all the versions of that thing. I of course, I love the original by Prince.
Sinead O'Connor's is good.
Sinead O'Connor's is the reason that song got popular. Right. But Chris Cornell, that is a good version of that song.
Well, speaking of Prince, real quick, and live covers, The cover of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which was, I think, the 2006 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performances. Tom Petty. I forgot who it was. Tom Petty was singing.
Yeah. I know where you're
Prince
going.
on guitar. His guitar solo is spine-tingling.
It is amazing.
Amazing. And everyone knows it. He knows it while he's playing it. You can see it in his face. Tom Petty, you can see it in his face.
Yep.
That guitar solo is amazing. That performance, I would say, if you nothing else, watch that performance.
I would say watch that performance during the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, and also watch Prince's Super Bowl halftime show. Both of those are two of the greatest live performances I think you'll ever see. But those are just a couple that we could kind of think of, I guess off the top of our heads. I put my list together in probably 5 minutes. It was just I just kind of rambled off some really great ones. But let us know what you guys think. Let us know some of your favorite covers that you think are better than the original. Because, I mean, realistically, we could have done another probably 20 or 30 cover songs on here. But
and we could almost go year by year and do a dozen or more.
I feel like I could do an entire episode on just Guns N' Roses covers.
Well, they had a cover album, too.
Well, Spaghetti Incident. Yeah, there were some covers on there.
I thought it was all covers.
No, but it was, I don't know, the Spaghetti Incident's it's a whole different conversation.
Right,
but
yes it is.
Let us know what you guys think, though. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all we got. Until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Keep on spinning. Peace.